My name's James Buckwell. I was attached to the church when I was baptized at a couple months old. And that was 85 years ago. About the merger itself. No, not too many stories about that. It was pretty cut and dry. I mean, everybody was happy. South Church was gone from 2,000 members to 1,000, roughly, at that time. And it made sense. It made sense to have them. The ABC is so close to the UCC, there's not a heck of a lot of difference. I remember, I'm sure I was on the council then. I was not, Charlie Kinney was the moderator. And he was very active with that whole thing. So anyway, it just made sense. The whole thing made sense.
So you said you had members the day of the parade.
Oh yeah. It was, well, a lot of us went up to the service and then came back to the church. And a lot of us walked down with the Baptists. But I was chairman of something or something, but I was not moderator, because I know that was Charlie Kinney. And it was a good day. There was a good service. Bert was on top of his game, and then he took the lead, and he just strode off down West Main Street and strode down Main Street. The view of him, I was on the steps, I think, of the church, the front steps, and the view of him leading the bunch, carrying the big golden cross, walking down Main Street was, I'll never forget it. I don't know what else to say. And then we went in and had a service, joint service, short, and had lunch. I'm assuming we always had lunch. If we could, for any reason, we would always do.
Okay, my name is Herb Carlson Jr. I've been a member of South Church since the late winter of 1968. The reason I became a South Church member is the person who had agreed that we should get married was a South Church person already, and so that was the end. That was the end of the discussion.
Okay. So who are the people who made this merger actually happen?
Well, the people who were, I think, most cause of that were the pastors of the two organizations, churches that were going to merge. And that's Reverend C. Burtis Crooks Jr. Of the First Baptist Church, and the Reverend Hugh Penny, who was the pastor of the South Congregational Church.
So what are your fondest memories of this merger as on that day and then being here in church? What are your most fondest memories of the...
Well, the fondest memory, if I am allowed to put it in the greater scope, I believe that the way we all worked together to make this thing work, and there wasn't anything like, gee, you know, we have more money than you do, or we have more members than you do, or we know how to do things better the Baptist way in comparison to the Congregational way, or vice versa. There was nothing like that. We were to work as well as we could, and I think we did a really good job.
Good morning. I'm Jean Esselink, and I'm a member of South Church, and I have been for over 50 years, and it has been a joy.
So, what was your memory of that particular day?
I remember the joy surrounding that day and the wonderful optimism of, we didn't know what was to come, but there was terrific optimism. I do remember that.
What is the most fondest memory you have of the beginning?
The fondest memories are what followed.
Okay.
The seeds that were planted, that grew, that came, and what followed because of this.
One just last question for you, and this is probably will come from the top of your head.
Yeah.
Where do you think the church is heading for with this merger? Where do you think our future lies?
You mean right now?
Yeah, where do you think we're heading? What does our future look like?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I think we have to have faith,
Yep.
trust in God, and pray a lot, and ask for guidance. I really do. We certainly didn't know what was ahead when we took the bold step many years ago, but such blessings followed, such blessings. So I could only hope for that for the future.
All right. Thank you.
I remember the walk.
Oh, okay.
I remember leaving the First Baptist Church sanctuary for the last time, walking down West Main Street, turning onto Main Street with little Kyle Mansfield holding the flag at the front of the procession.
Wow.
Getting to the church and seeing what was soon to be my future sister-in-law's church, Trinity Methodist, standing there clapping for us as we all joined and walked into the South Church sanctuary. So it connected, in my head, the three churches.
Yes.
That they all became part of the Christian community in the city of New Britain. And we were all there for each other.
But it still has the First Baptist South Congregational Church title. But to see the community working together, we became one community, it seems like, is what you're saying.
It seems to be. And right now, it doesn't seem like there's a difference.
Yep.
It's, nobody goes up and say, are you Baptist or are you Congregational? We're just here.
We're here.
We're just here. And maybe it took 50 years to get to that point, but we're here and we're one. And that's what's important.
Well, hello, everyone. This is a great honor to be part of this 50th anniversary celebration at what is officially South Congregational First Baptist Church. I'm Richard Coffey. I was I had so many titles, but I was the minister of music, basically, for 45 years at South Church, and that was beginning in 1972 and concluding in 2017. And here I am again.
Well, we're here to talk about the merger of the churches. So the first question, who were the people that made the merger happen?
Well, that's quite the quiz, and it's a very good question. And I do have an answer. The list of people would be long because there was a great investment by the leadership of both congregations from South Church, from South Church, I think specifically of Jim Buckwell, Herb Carlson, Dr. Charles Kinney, who at the time was president of Naugatuck Valley Community College, and Harry Macedorian. From First Baptist, certainly at that time, Norman Campbell, who was also a chancel choir member and strong voice in the merger and was a big supporter of the open and affirming successful effort. Also, the sisters Eleanor and Louise Hess, very, very informed and engaged and involved. They were both also members of the choir. And Paulette Kellerstedt, thinking back over that period. But the overwhelming driving force and motivator was the Reverend Hugh Penny, who was passionate about the benefits of the merger and labored fervently for its passage. In case somebody is hearing this and they don't know who that is, that was the pastor of South Church at that time. He came there, I think, in 1964. The big success came because he ensured that the First Baptist congregation, much smaller than that of South Church at the time, was fully represented every step of the way in the planning as well as in the implementation of the endeavor. The end.
We were asked to pick up more than one hymn book if we could, because that was a way to get the Baptist hymnals to South Church. And then we started the procession down the street that you've heard about, and it was exhilarating. It was very exciting, but I can't help but wonder how the Baptists felt. They were leaving their home church.
Yeah.
And we were very excited, but I wonder what their emotions were, knowing that they were leaving their home. But we processed down the street. We came to the intersection of Main Street, and when we turned the corner, there were police cars there stopping the traffic so that we could process. Main Street was closed because of us. And that in itself was astounding to me. And when we turned the corner, you could then see South Church, and there were people watching, not just those that were processing. And I know that it was mentioned, but I do remember when we got close to South Church, the Trinity Methodist across the street had all come out from their service, and they were standing on the sidewalk, which we didn't know was going to happen. And they started applauding.
Nice.
And the feeling that we were being welcomed back, we were coming back to our home church, we were bringing another congregation with us, and the church across the street, another denomination, was cheering for us. And that I will never forget. It was very moving. And we ended the service at South Church because we had begun at First Baptist. We ended here, new home for the Baptists, and our way of welcoming them into our church and congregation.
So joining as a community of believers, do you think that that was the goal?
It's the heart and soul of Christianity, because we are all one church as far as I'm concerned. And if more churches could do this and more churches could join us, I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah. So how do you think it has changed our congregation?
Having more people helped us survive longer in this day and age of shrinking congregations. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It brought me people that I had never known before.
Okay.
And I was very happy to know some of the people
that's
that
great.
came over, the ones that I saw. I really didn't understand what was going on.
Okay.
So.
Okay. But you, from what I sense now, you're happy it happened.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Of course.
absolutely. Of course.
Do you remember the walk?
Yep. I remember the walk from Baptist Church down to South Church. My mother and aunt were both alive at the time, and we had a good time walking down.
Nice. Any other thoughts about the merger or what's happened since then? How that's helped us?
What happened since then, Beth? So much has happened.
I was very young when the merger took place, and I don't have any memories of the actual day of the merger. I do have a lot of memories of what came after the merger, and the thing that I remember most as a child was that the merger for me meant lots of new friends. There were young people who came to South Church from First Baptist, and there was an infusion of energy and opportunities. There were lots of adults who cared about us and provided opportunities for us, and lots of new friends. I think in hindsight, that's one thing that South Church has meant for me throughout my life and throughout these 50 years. The importance of the connections that we make with people in the church that have long, long-lasting impacts on our lives. and the connection that our church has with the community that has great impacts on the community. And so the last 50 years have been great, and I'm really looking forward to the next 50 years to see what community that brings in the church and in all of New Britain.